All right, we're going to get going here. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us in our launch pitch competition. We're really excited to showcase some of the great companies that have been working with us. I'll give you a quick rundown about Launch Ventures, who we are, what we're doing. We're essentially Launch Ventures owns and operates a network of accelerators, innovation studios, investment funds, and then we also do large scale events. I'll kind of work my way backwards. On the events, Traction Conference is one of our signature key events. You might have heard of it. We also do a series of private CEO events across North America. We are starting to do some international events as well. We also have a series of online content, webinars, Traction webinars, twice a week. We've got our podcast, our Bits and Bytes, Founder Journeys. We're also really integrated into a lot of different areas of the tech ecosystem, helped put together a couple of different funds. Victory Square is one that you might have heard of, doing a lot of angel investments outside of that as well. On the Innovation Studio, we're primarily focusing on sports entertainment industry and looking to revolutionize the back office of sports entertainment, primarily with blockchain and AI solutions. But we're most well known for our accelerator, which is Launch Academy. And you're going to kind of see the fruits of the labor today. We've got a variety of different programs, starting from early stage ideation online content to an incubation program that we've developed over the last few years that essentially is functioning all virtually online. We've gotten rid of the physical in-person activities and have taken everything online, AMAs, mentors, resources. And we also provide an international program called Maple. Maple is where we bring international companies that are at seed to Series A, ready to expand and grow into North America, introduce them to our network, our resources, but also if they qualify, allow them to participate in some of the great Canadian immigration programs. Startup Visa is probably the most popular, where we're allowed to help international companies expand and grow their team and their families into North America through Canada with Canadian permanent residency. Some of the companies that you're seeing today are some of these participants. Others are in the Launchpad program. We had over 20 companies that were shortlisted that pitched and tried to spruce up their pitch and presentations and get themselves into the final six. And you're seeing the fruits of that labor right now. 6 companies ready to go and pitch you their startups. I'm going to introduce you to our MC, Charlene Fothergill. Charlene has a long history with Launch Academy. She was actually there from day one. Launch Academy is going to be celebrating its 10-year anniversary in 2022. And she's seen all these gray hairs come in one by one. She was with Grow Lab at the time, and then she grew into a senior role with Lighthouse Labs and now CTO.ai. She is your go-to person for anything HR. You can contract her. She knows the tech industry really well, and she knows the HR sector really well. So I'm going to hand it over to Charlene, and she's going to be your MC for the day.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, everyone. This is so weird, kind of talking one way and seeing some faces. I'm super stoked to be here, super stoked to be your MC. So as Ray said, definitely grew up with Launch Academy in the heydays of pitch competitions. They're looking a little different today, but really excited to be here and get some good old-fashioned pitch competitions happening and see what's been going on. Seeing lots of familiar names on the chat. Say hi, let's talk about things on the chat. Let's try to make this as least awkward to just talk at a blank screen as possible for myself, for the judges, as well for the startups. Cool. So what are we going to do today? Let's just go through the plan. We are on a tight timeline. So in kind of the spirit of back in the day, your pitch times will be recorded, and I will let you know if you're coming up on that timeline, and I'm going to be unmerciful, that's the word I was looking for, and just cut you off if you're going over. We do need to make sure everyone gets the time for both their pitch as well as the questions. So hopefully everyone's well rehearsed. So round one, we are going to see 6 companies pitch for 90 seconds, followed by a 3-minute Q&A with our esteemed judges, who I'll introduce in just a moment. Then the judges are going to sneak away and deliberate, and we're going to get a chance to meet our sponsors, the people that have kind of helped make this event possible today. And they're going to actually do a little bit of a pitch to all you all. So we're going to put them on the hot seat and make them pitch and work for their sponsorship spot, so to speak. The judges are going to come come back and they're going to whittle that down from 6 to a top 3. So that'll be really exciting to see who makes that cut. After we have the top 3 announced, we'll take a quick 5-minute break, grab some water, use the washroom, all that kind of stuff, and then come on back and we'll watch those 3 pitch. So they're going to be doing a 3-minute pitch, which I think is probably the most difficult time slot to get, followed by a 5-minute Q&A with the judges. Again, it's going to be a hard stop on that. And then the judges are going to pop away, deliberate. We'll get another kind of 2 or 3-minute break, come back to the room. And then Sam from Launch Academy is going to have the honorable pleasure of announcing the winners and the prizes and all that exciting stuff that will follow. So that's what we're going to do today. We're hoping to get wrapped up at 4:30. And thanks everyone for your time and coming in today. Cool. So let's meet our judges. So maybe when I say your name, if you just want to pop on your camera and give a little wave. First up, we have, or in no particular order, I guess, we have Adam O'Donnell, who's a startup mentor at Techstars and a VC and a startup and works with the startup partnership specifically at Zendesk. So thank you, Adam, for being here today. Next, we have Monique Morden, a founder and advisor at Judy.AI. Hi, Monique. Welcome, welcome. Cool. Next, we've got Milan Taskovic, general partner at Expa, investor and advisor. Wonderful. And then, I think the only person who's older in the startup scene other than Ray and I is Vern Patek, who's definitely cannot summarize him in just 2 bullet points, but currently he's an investment partner and co-founder at Northmark Ventures. If you want the real story on Vancouver and the world startup scene, this guy's got the goods. Thanks for being here, Vern. Nice to see you. And then Chris Newman's also someone who's been around the space a time or 2, and he's currently a partner at Panache Ventures. Thank you. Welcome, Chris. Okay, great. Well, we'll maybe put everyone back off camera, I guess. So that's a little bit easier for the judges. Take notes, judges. Make sure you're kind of taking notes and filling out that scorecard so deliberation can be nice and snappy. And without further ado, let's bring in our first company. We have Holimood. Holimood, take off your camera, say hi. All right, do we have Holimood? Oh, do I see Holimood? Anyone? Oh, we got Bill.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Bill.
Yes, I successfully as a presenter now. So, can you see my screen?
It's just loading now. Yeah, we are good to go, and I will not press start until you start.
Okay. Hello, good morning, everyone. Holimood is the leading booking platform of leisure activities in Hong Kong. We have over 1,000 listed products and generate over 20 million USD revenue per year. We rank the #1 in yachting, camping, and water sports activities. We are familiar with the market and realize that most of the service providers are still using primitive ways to operate their business. Jotting down booking with paper and pens and using Google Form to accept bookings are the most common practice. Only less than 10% of them have adapted e-commerce solution. This number is far below the average of the industry with similar booking flows such as hotels and flights. The secret of success is we are not only providing an Airbnb-like platform, we are creating an ecosystem that helps the service provider to optimize the internal operation and sales. We also provide the vertical SaaS enables the user to launch their booking site in an hour. Core features include CRM, no-code site builders, and most importantly, it helps users to distribute the rates and availability with hundreds of distribution partners. This unique business model differentiates ourselves from the giants such as Kalo and C-Trip. With our strong track record, we are competent to expand our business to more industry and countries. We are now looking for $2 million USD to expand the overseas market. Thank you.
Whoa, that was exactly 90 seconds. Gold star for practicing your pitch timing. Great job. All right. I don't think we have any way to showcase the clapping. So I'll just clap for everybody just so it doesn't feel so weird. All right. We got 3 minutes for questions. Judges. Any questions for Bill at Holimood? Explore your vibe.
I'll ask a question. It's
Yeah.
Monique here. Can you talk a little bit about the competition and kind of where their strengths and weaknesses and how far ahead or behind they are from you guys?
Can I clarify the question? Only strength and weakness. And the next question is how far we get to the.
Yeah, just talk about the competition, their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, competitions. And actually the competition, what we are facing right now is some software that are providing similar function, like helping our suppliers to build a booking site internationally. But however, the competition is not as keen as the solution as a normal shopping cart, just like Shopify or Shopify and other giants in the market. For us, because we are only focusing on the booking industry and specifically for the outdoor experience and leisure activities. We have designed lots of customized models for this kind of industry. We have over 30 customized pricing models and fits over 10 to 20 industries. So the competition is not that keen from our point of view. We have to do quite a lot of research online and we cannot find a very good solution right now. And what is our strength? And our strength is we have a very well-developed booking platform right now, which is Holimood.com. And we have all that established for a few years, and we have a community over 100,000 of users already. So it gives us a lot of insights in the past few years for building up our latest SaaS solutions. And however, our weakness is comparatively, we do not have a lot of international expansion experience, and our team is mainly a local person in Hong Kong. So that makes us some difficulties in and uncertainty when we're expanding our business overseas.
And Bill, what's the market size in Hong Kong? Why do you need to expand?
Frankly speaking, the market size in Hong Kong is not that big because we only have like 7 million populations in Hong Kong. And that's why we like to expand our market to the overseas.
Bill, I'm going to have to stop you there. We're at 3 minutes for the questions.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we got Pineapple. Pineapple's up on deck. Thank you, Bill. Never easy to go first, especially in this virtual world. Perfect.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. That was Bill from Holimood. All right. We got Pineapple up next. Where's our friends at Pineapple? Oh, we got David going off mic. I just got to assume the person going off mic is our presenter. Here we go. Yeah, we're teed up and really ready to go. David's wasted no time. Whenever you're ready, David.
Okay, well, I'm going to start right now. So hello, everyone. It's David here from Pineapple. Pineapple lets you build apps with no code. It's kind of like Wix, but to build mobile apps. A little bit about me. I'm David Cruz. I'm the CEO and founder at Pineapple. I'm a software engineer. And for me, everything started when I created Vista, an app that helps blind people all around the world. Then I went to work for Meta and Google as a software engineer, and I co-founded 2 software development agencies. Creating an app changed my life, and that's why I created Pineapple. So I'm going to try to challenge Pineapple on this one and try to create an app prototype during this 90-second speech on the background. So let's get started. Okay, so let's say you need an app or a working prototype. Option A is to code it yourself, but this is difficult and it can take time. Option B is to pay someone to build it for you, but this can get really expensive. Option C is to build it yourself with Pineapple. And how? With our intuitive drag and drop builder, it lets you add images, buttons. It lets you test and export your code directly on your device. It's easy. It's being used by students all around the world and non-technical founders, even in a US Congressional App Challenge competition. It's fast. In less than 90 seconds, you can create a prototype that would take an iOS engineer around 2 hours to do. It's affordable, just $9.99 per month. and we're close to 100,000 downloads within our first year, and this is 100% organic traffic. We've been top 100 since launch date, top 1 in the US during launch week, and we've been featuring by Apple within the launching. This is the result of our app. Thank you so much.
Okay, whoop, whoop. Perfect. Good job. I mean, that was ambitious, getting a demo in and a pitch in just like 1 minute and 38 seconds. So great job, David. All right, we'll hand it over to our judges. What do we want to know about Pineapple? Very intriguing.
Hey, it's at. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Sorry, Adam, go for it.
Yeah, just quick question. How much have you raised so far, and any name investors?
We've been bootstrapping all the way. It's been from what I got from Facebook and Google. That's what we've been living off right now, and we have some
Awesome.
subscribed users. So we will definitely want to raise.
David, I had a question about the market that you're after. Sorry, Chris.
No, go
I
for
just
it.
saw you put a pop-up at the same time. Are you going after more complex apps that have data-driven backends, or is this more for basic, simple, that doesn't really require a backend?
So we are going for those complex apps. We're working on backend integrations. We're developing our own self-deployed server with no code. And we're also, working with different databases to make sure you can create the most complex, a complex app. And also, if I get the opportunity, I'll share with you more. But with Pineapple, you can export your code in native code, so you can give this to an engineer, and it can be as powerful as you want it to be.
All right, we'll let Chris sneak in there next.
All right, simple question. You got 100,000 downloads. What's your revenue? How many of them are paying?
Well, we started being free for a while, but just to answer your question, after 4 months of turning on our subscriptions, we were sitting at around $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue. We still have a few months to go to finish our first year, but that's where we're sitting right now. $4,000 monthly recurring revenue.
All right, we got a whole minute left, judges. What do we need to know about Pineapple?
Let's go.
What's your best channel right now in terms of customer acquisition?
So because it's been 100% organic. Our best channel right now, we've been featured by Apple multiple times. I guess because of the quality of the app, we really invest in design. So we've gotten a lot of featuring by our friends at Apple. Again, if I get the opportunity, I'll share with you our future plans with web, deploying Pineapple to web. So we will definitely explore new channels to get, that's a huge market, probably the biggest out there, web users.
All right, 30 seconds left.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What kind of support do you provide? Is it completely self-serve, or do you have some sort of tech support?
We have support channels. Recently, we got someone into the team that's helping us, kind of like gather people that have issues. And also we're building a learning center, because no code community really loves that, like tutorials and boot camps. So that's something we're working on. So we have,
okay. I'm gonna stop it there, David. Thank you so much. That was a lot in your time. Great job. Okay. Let's get perception. Moving right along. Snappy, 90-second pitches. Back in the day, there was no time to even go to the bar in between 90-second pitches. It was on to the next one. Where's our team at perception? All right, great job. Jumping right in, I like it. Whenever you're ready.
All right, you can hear me and you can see the background. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, hold on, I need to hide this panel. All right.
Go ahead, take it away.
Okay. Professional sports are the pinnacle of human performance, where teams are constantly trying to identify and develop the next superstar. And as a former pro athlete and coach, I discovered that only 1 out of 4 components of human performance are actually deemed tangible and are currently trained and measured. In the highly competitive $11 billion sports tech industry, we're the only company that can train and measure all 4 components of performance where it matters most, on the field and with full teams. In the environment where every inch counts, we've been able to make over 650 pro, amateur, and varsity athletes 0.24 seconds quicker with only 4 hours of training with our prototype so far. And while that may not sound like a lot, it actually looks like this: the difference between Usain Bolt at the Olympics and second place, whom no one even remembers. Our product as a service model generates B2B subscription revenue with arms race style technologies that can easily scale. And with our first product, Pro Instinct, ready for launch in January, after a successful paid beta release in July with over 200 athletes. This is the result of work by an excellent team, including former professional athletes and coaches, 3 PhDs, and over 120 years of experience in tech, sports, and research. We're launching our seed round in January and are looking to connect with investors passionate about sport and human performance.
All right, perfect. Nice slide into home plate there, to use a sports analogy. All right, well, all the rest of us are Googling Lee to find out what professional sport he played and what team he coached. I'll hand it over to the judges if they have any questions about perception.
I'll make it easy. It was soccer, and I coached with Whitecaps as well as SFU and some others.
There you go. Congratulations. All right, judges, what do we want to know?
Yeah, do you have any patents?
We have one that is just in the final stages and will be pending, and that's specifically for the hardware component.
Is this personalized for every player, or is this more of like a generic rule set that anybody can follow and they can get faster?
So it's specifically targeted towards teams. We're starting with soccer and then going into a couple other team sports, but we actually use entire teams at the same time and go into their team training, but we also give the individual the ability to train on their own within it. So in a team environment, we can give more value, but there's still benefit on their own, specifically with our first software only product.
Yeah, and would you say this is service-based powered by software, or is this software with a hint of service?
So it's a subscription for software first, and then we're going more into the product side when the hardware comes in and putting that all together as a package.
Lee, how does this look when it's scaled to a very large degree, say 4 years out?
So on the software only side with Pro Instinct, that what we'll end up having is pretty easy deployment through app stores, and then the clubs largely managing their own. So that can scale actually quite easily with minimal fuss. When we get into the hardware point, and why we're doing that is it does require more hands-on setup, where we have probably about a 30-day onboarding platform with there. However, that allows us to collect about 1 billion data points every training session. So we have that trade-off of a lot more deployment, but then collecting a lot more on the back end. So in short, in 4 years, we'll just have to navigate how quickly to turn on the tap with the more resource-intensive hardware side.
All right, we're going to wrap it up there. So we got 3 seconds left. Great job, Lee. Congratulations. And we're moving on, right on. Okay, so we got Ontracker up next with our 90-second pitch. Where's our Ontracker friends? So any mics going off? Hello, anyone?
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
hello.
here.
Hi, you're here. You made it. Come on in.
All right.
Whenever you're
Okay.
there we go.
We're good to go?
You're good to go.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Syed, CEO at Ontracker. Construction is one of the oldest and largest industries in history. Yet, construction businesses have long been managing projects using outdated and inefficient manual methods. Companies are still using ancient tools such as paper and spreadsheets, or poorly built project management or ERP software systems. All of these methods are based on manual entry, And manual entry is not only highly inefficient, but it continues to cost companies significant amounts of time and money in productivity losses every single week. Ontracker is the industry's first specialized workflow automation platform that enables companies to automate their project management workflows and minimize the amount of manual entry needed across their entire business. After spending our first few months going from concept to build to iteration, we now have 4 companies paying for annual subscriptions. We've launched active pilot programs with 7 more companies happening right now, and we're negotiating enterprise deals with 2 of the largest sub-trades contractors in BC. Our founding team has experienced the pain of manual entry firsthand throughout our many years of experience in construction, and we've also just added a former president of Ledcor Group, one of the largest construction companies in North America, to our advisory board. With investment into construction tech reaching record levels this year, we truly believe we have the right team for the right market at the right time. We'll be raising our seed round in Q3 of next year, and we're looking for investors to come join us on our mission to bring automation to construction. Thank you.
Amazing. With 5 seconds to spare. Great job. Way to hit the nail on the head. Like that one, Sam? Yeah. Anyways. All right, hand it over to the judges. Get me off the stage.
Hey, Syed, what's the title of the person that buys the software? 1, and 2, what's the trigger that happens in their life before they come to you?
So the title, typically we're interacting with a lot of SMB companies right now. That's where we're seeing the most traction. And we are typically dealing directly with owners because they tend to be more actively involved in their operations. But at the slightly larger companies, we are also interacting with VPs of construction and project managers as additional influencers as well. And the trigger that typically brings them to us is when they've just been overburdened by all the paperwork. Number 1. Number 2 is a labor shortage as well. They're dealing with short staffing issues, and they simply need more assistance with managing their workflows.
All right, judges, anyone else? Construction, project management.
Sorry, can you repeat, everything goes so fast, I don't always catch it, how your sort of traction, like how many customers and clients and revenue?
Yeah, so currently right now we have 11 companies currently paying for or using our services. Across the paying customers, which are 4 companies, we have just above 80 users currently using and paying for the services. We're at about 700 in MRR, but we got a wave of MRR tied to those pilot programs that we're trying to convert.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
What will be your best channel, do you think, over the next year and a half as you start to scale this? How are you going to reach the customers that you're targeting?
Yeah, great question. So right now we are seeing the most success with a direct sales approach because we do need to take an account-based model to deploy the solution. But we do see avenues for partnerships through things like IT systems integrators, as well as technology partners through integrations as well. So we think that's going to be a big channel for us.
Great, got just under a minute left. One more quick question, judges. Yeah, did such a good job. Very concise presentation. All right, we'll take back the few seconds then. Thank you so much for that. Great, we'll move right along. All right, up next we have Chewy. Let's see how do we get you to pop on mute there when you're done. Thank you. Perfect. Okay.
You can see my screen?
We can see your screen. Yes.
Awesome.
Take it away whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. So I'm Raf, and I'm going to tell you about Chewy. So building a product is hard. Chewy makes it accessible to junior developers. How? Through the Chewy stack, which we've been building and testing with real products for 6 months, as well as educational resources and a supportive community. Meet Carla, one of hundreds of thousands of bootcamp grads worldwide this last year. She's going to face challenges launching a SaaS platform when she realizes how much stuff wasn't covered in bootcamp. The Chewy stack will provide solutions to a lot of her challenges out of the box. Chewy will also provide educational content for why its components are key to building a product and business. Eventually, we'll also include paid certification. Carla is not alone. We're putting together a lot of emphasis on building community and building an ecosystem beyond the tools. She'll also be ready for growth. When our deployment system is ready, Carla will be able to launch her product to our paid hosting solution tailored to the stack, so she doesn't need to learn how to manage complex infrastructure. Chewy's for everyone. We've been building workflows specifically considering folks with underpowered laptops and crappy internet connections. We want to blow open this market to people who previously could only dream of it. So if you know an ambitious junior dev, send them to we.gochewy.io so that we can build this together with them.
Ooh, that was great. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Awesome. Great presentation and love it. Love it. Judges. Adam?
Yep, I'll go. Chris, sorry if I missed this, but tell me about your experience as well as your co-founders.
So I'm Raf.
I'm sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Basically, I've been working in and around startups, early stage startups generally for around 7 years, either as a freelancer, a co-founder, an advisor. We have one other developer who was actually, it's practical experience in that he was just in a boot camp about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And we have an advisor who is a marketer who's done some community building and stuff like that in the past. She works at Bench primarily.
Got it. Thank you.
Can I ask you to, let's say, narrow down for us or restate for us who your target customer is? Because I'm a little confused, because on the one hand, you started with a detailed description of coming through a boot camp, and by the end you were talking about underpowered laptops and no internet and other things, and so there's a little bit all over the place. So who are you looking at as your initial market?
Basically, we want junior devs, people who are out of a boot camp, maybe just getting into tech. So they don't, they're new to tech. They know the basics, the very basics. They've just started to learn how it works. And we're going to give them sort of the building blocks to build a product.
Okay, so can I clarify? It's specifically junior devs who are trying to build their own product?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Judges, anything else? I'm gonna just 1 minute in, lots of time for questions. Let's unpack this.
Hey, so it's Monique here. So again, what's your revenue model connected to this? How are you going to get these young new devs to pay?
We have three revenue streams that we anticipate. So initially, probably through training. The other one will be training, the deployment system once we have that in place, and that's probably the most scalable one. And honestly, consulting. We see this being like something where we can help other people build their products initially, and that's something we would only want to do in the short term and taper it off as we use that to learn more about people's problems and what we can do to solve them.
All right, any more questions, judges? Going once, going twice. All right, well, great job. Thanks, Raf. All right, and moving right on, last but certainly not least, and our 90-second pitches, we have Smart Arm. Come on up to the stage, Smart Arm.
Hey.
Hello. All right, you can go ahead and share your screen.
There we go.
Yeah, you are good to go when you're ready.
I want you to meet a good friend of mine, actually, Annalisa. We went to school together. She's 24 years old, and she was born a hand amputee. One day, she was telling me how despite all the available options, she's never actually had the chance to use a bionic hand. What started out as a fun project to help her was eventually launched as Smart Arm. And today, we're on a mission to empower amputees to interact with the world around them more intimately. You see, there are over 9 million other hand amputees in the same boat as Annalisa, and they all have the same problem, which is bionics are expensive, yet they still don't do a whole lot. That's an untapped market of $21 billion. Our solution to this has been using 3D printing and machine learning to provide a low-cost yet powerful bionic hand. An embedded camera in the palm identifies any object the amputee wants to interact with, and our software algorithm calculates the best grasp for it. And the results so far have been astounding. Not only have we captivated the attention of hand amputees all around the world, but our technology also impressed tech giants like Microsoft. Even the Prime Minister couldn't resist coming to check us out. We're backed by a world-class team of engineers with combined experience ranging from Tesla, Microsoft, Oxford, and even CERN. We recently raised a small pre-seed round of $350,000 back in June, and we want to spend the 10K from this competition further towards commercializing SmartArm to help Annalisa and millions of other hand amputees just like her all around the world.
All right, in time, good timing. Thank you. Very cool. All right, judges, what do we want to know about this?
How are you getting paid through the insurance companies, or are they paying directly?
Yeah, that's a good question. So currently, to give you some context to that, right now, if an amputee wants a device, they have to go through this very convoluted process of going to a clinic. The clinic then contacts their insurance company and the manufacturer of the device. All three of them work together to come up with a cost. And if that cost is like favorable to the clinic, they'll go forward with it if there's like a high profit margin. If not, they'll kind of just chuck the user aside. What we're doing is making it affordable enough so that the user can pay for it directly. In many cases, when 9 out of 10 cases, the user gets denied funding and they want to pay, but clinics currently simply don't work with those kind of users. So we're starting by going directly to the user. They kind of subscribe onto the device straight from us. And in the future, we're looking to kind of build into the prosthetic clinic ecosystem as well.
Monique, are you just in Canada right now? Sorry, are you North American? What are you geographically? Where do you see your best chances being to really expand?
Yeah, so for right upon launch, we're looking at focusing on both the North American, Canada, and US markets, as well as the NHS and the UK, primarily because they all have very similar ways in which the kind of the clinic, insurance, and all those agencies operate. And so our business model, the way it is set up right now, works perfectly in those geographies.
I have one other sort of follow-up question. Is there, beyond the immediate sort of current application you have for this technology, is there kind of the next phase or other uses that you can see for this?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So part of what makes SmartArm really interesting is, it comes pre-trained with a bunch of objects it knows how to grab. But over the course of the time, we've actually implemented the functionality for users to input new objects and custom train how they want the hand to interact with them. I mean, there are going to be tons of objects. Like despite being thousands of objects being programmed into it, there are a ton of objects that the user will come across that they want the hand to interact with differently, or just new objects it hasn't seen before. And so not only does that improve the ecosystem, for all the bionic hands, but our next step with this is to incorporate it into a general purpose sort of humanoid robot that's able to help anyone do anything. And our thinking behind that is, if we're able to create an arm powerful enough to replace a human hand, it makes all the sense to put it on a, general purpose robot that's able to help anyone do anything. So imagine one of the things our users really enjoy doing is being able to cook with two hands in the kitchen. We don't realize just how many of those tasks involve two hands. And so once we're able to train SmartArm to do that, we can incorporate that into the general purpose robot and have them operating ghost kitchens, just as an example.
Okay, awesome. And we'll end right on that note. Well, thank you very much to all of the entrepreneurs. So again, we'll just quickly give everyone a round of applause. 90 seconds is not easy. Thank you, judges, for your questions. So Alana is going to whisk the judges magically away into the deliberation room, and they'll have some really tough decisions to make and get us down to a top 3, and we can hear some more and dig in. And on that note, I think Alana has a fun little poll for the audience to do here, and we can actually vote for our favorite. So just a reminder, we have Holimood, we have Pineapple, Perception, Ontracker, Chewy, and Smart Arm. So let Alana launch that poll. Oh, boom, boom, done. We got some Zoom experts in the house at Launch Academy. No surprise, no surprise. All right, folks, who did you see? I mean, listen, we all know Pineapple's got the best emoji game, but let's really think about the pitches and the business and what we enjoyed about everything and make our vote. Oh, hosts and panelists cannot vote. So I will not vote, but I'm eagerly waiting for the results. All right. Get your votes in. Let's see what the crowd favorite is. How did our votes compare to the judges? What do we think? I mean, I definitely, if I ever start a startup, I will make sure my company title has something to do with an emoji, because I just feel like Pineapple's winning the chat marketing game here, hands down. Sam's throwing in some construction workers. I tried to do the strong arm. We're trying for all y'all. Some soccer balls. All right. Chat's blowing up. Chat's blowing up. Who you voting for? We got the tractor emoji is coming out. Nice, nice. Let's get literal with that. We got I'm not sure what the cheetah one. That's right. Chewy the cheetah. That was a very good logo. Almost an emoji. Good job, Raf. Lana, how are we doing on the poll here?
I think we're gonna give about 10 more seconds.
All right.
So we have 25 people that haven't voted yet. So 5 more seconds, and then we're gonna end the poll.
4, 3,
Screenshot
2, 1.
And done. All right. In first place, we have Syed, 38%, and Pineapple in a close second. But again, this is just the audience vote, but this goes towards the end score. So thank you guys so much, all of the audience, for voting. So yes, we're ending that.
Wonderful. Well, there we go. We proved, anyone getting marketing advice, make sure you're including your emojis. It worked. It worked. We had the emoji game coming in strong and helping that vote along. Cool. Well, without further ado, anytime we do these kind of events, whether they're virtual or live, we can't do it without sponsors. And Launch Academy has some amazing sponsors that are super involved in the community. And I'm really excited today to call up to the stage. We have Boast.AI as well as MEP Business Council with us today. So they are going to work for their sponsorship spots day, and they're actually going to pitch all y'all. And then, if you have any questions or comments, you can throw them in the chat, Alana. Should we just get people to throw them in the chat to kind of keep the chaos at bay? Perfect. So questions or comments to our sponsors, throw them in the chat. And then we'll kind of take a short break after. So without further ado, we will get Anastasia, who actually is just as much part of the history of Launch Academy as I am. She worked at Grow Lab with me way back in the day. And she's going to speak to us about Boast.AI. Anastasia.
Unfortunately, we've run into some technical issues. So Anastasia is unfortunately not able to join us. So she's asked me to speak on Boast's behalf, which is fine because Boast have been her partners for as long as I've been at Launch, which has been 4.5 years. They're also our co-founders of Traction Conference, which is coming back next year. Stay tuned for details. So Boast, for all of you guys that don't know, I'm just going to give a little bit of my pitch on Boast so you guys know who they are. You can look at more details online when we post the finalists for the event. Jesse from MEP is going to be speaking, so he'll have a much more flashy pitch for you guys. But again, Our partners at Boast help founders and government funding to cover product development costs for companies like yours. Boast.AI streamlines and automates the process for you to get your money faster, almost 5 times less the time and risk for yourself. They've also developed a handy online calculator to estimate how much you can get back in those R&D costs. To try it, just visit Boast.ai. Boast is also going to be offering our top 3 finalists a $1,000 credit for their first year working with Boast. So thank you so much to everyone at Boast. I didn't do as good of a job as they probably would have done in 3 minutes, but I hope I did them justice. So on that note, I am going to give the stage over to our friends at MEP, specifically Jesse, who is here today to tell you a little bit more about what they do. So Jesse, if you're there, I will give the floor to you.
Perfect, thank you. Let me just get my screen share up here. Oops. There we are. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Perfect. So my name is Jesse Ahuja. I'm a partner at MEP Business Council. I know this is a pitch competition and it's my chance to pitch, but I'm going to keep it relatively casual. Truth be told, I would much prefer to be doing this in person, probably over a cold beer, but thought I'd throw up a few slides to at least take your attention off of my face. So what's MEP Business Council all about in a nutshell? We're a law firm that feels like a boutique, but performs like a big firm. And that's what our clients really want. High caliber advice and sophisticated experience, but at the same time, highly practical and efficient. It's the best of both worlds, and it's actually quite rare. So we have a pretty interesting origin story, which unfortunately won't fit in a 3-minute pitch. So here's the concise version. Every one of our lawyers has trained at big national or international firms, including lawyers from New York and Toronto and Montreal and London, where we worked on big, complex, sort of front page of the business section type deals. We started MEP once we realized that, you know, we all love the business in business law, hence our name, Business Council. We loved helping companies grow, and we realized that, you know, before us, entrepreneurs had to choose either top quality legal advice or practical business advice, and we bridge the gap and do both. We launched in 2014, and we've been recognized as a top 10 corporate boutique in Canada every year since. So it turns out I'm not the only person who likes our business model, thankfully. For a 7-year-old business, quite frankly, we've enjoyed more than our fair share of recognition. Well, this is what I look like in a suit. I'm thrilled to say that I haven't worn one since COVID started, and I hope to never wear one again. But quite sincerely, my team and I would be thrilled to help build your dream business. Thank you, and I'll take any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to, you know, give a shout out to these service providers. So I know, yes, they're sponsors of the event, but you know, when you're a startup and when you're working in this tech industry, service providers that really get the stage of business you're at, that really get the industry and some of the realities that come with working in this crazy tech industry is really, really important. And I would definitely always take a referral from places like Launch Academy if you're looking for a lawyer or to do some of your shred credits and some of the other stuff that I know Boast has quite an expansive offering now. They kind of started with humble beginnings of shred consulting. So definitely, you know, don't take it lightly what service providers you engage with, and, you know, trust places like Launch Academy company, they wouldn't be allowing these people on the stage to speak to y'all if it wasn't a good fit with startups, with these earlier stage companies, and with companies that are working within tech, which just has different realities. So it's always a good idea. And yeah, so thank you again for the work that both Boast and MEP do in the community. And thanks for being here today, Jesse. And always encouraging when you hear a lawyer say, I don't want to be wearing no suit. So I mean, that's got my vote if I need a lawyer anyways.
Good
Cool.
advice across the board. Thanks very much.
No worries. Does anyone have any questions for Jesse at all in the comments, or and you've got access to Anastasia? Lana can pass you on that information, as well as Boast.AI. Wonderful. Okay, so we're just waiting. Got a few more moments. Let's throw some more emojis in the chat. I wish we could like have a bit of a GIF thing going on. GIF or GIF? Which one are we doing here? Vote, GIF or GIF? Are you over 30 or under 30, right? Hard G. GIF. Oh, we got a GIF, we got a GIF, we got a hard G. I like it. This is the great debate. Should have got Sam and Ray debating GIF or GIF, the different generations. Soft G if you want a Google Assistant to voice type it. So, oh, Dave, that is, if we're going to have to choose an answer, that's, let's just get Alexa to be our deciding factor, right? And then Flavin just went straight back to the pineapple. It all circles back when it all comes down to it. Oh, we had the tractor before. And then Brian is just giraffing it, just doing his own thing. Sounds good. I love the emoji game. Okay. What do we think? What do we think the judges are going to come back with? So we had a not tractor, sorry. That's not the name of the company. That is the name of the emoji that we have all been putting around. So from our point, we had Ontracker. And then pineapple is a close second. Who do we think the judges? The judges are going to do 3. Throw me in your top 3s of who you think the judges are going to pick. Who do we think the judges are going to pick? Well, you got to give me 3. You got to give me 3. Oh, I see some judges coming back. You guys got to give me 3. Your top 3, not just the top 1. I know. We got team track. Ontracker. This is terrible. You're just gonna have to be called Tractor now because we've just rebranded you based on the emojis that are happening here. Smart Arm, yeah, that's pretty cool. Robots, I like it. Robots with a 3D printing. It was cool to see something. I feel like I haven't heard a lot about 3D printing. It used to be when I was running the Grow Lab program, it was the hot space, and everyone was doing something with 3D printing. And then Grey's Anatomy was making skin cells and cows' hearts and stuff. And then I don't really know what happened with 3D printing. Happy to see it moving into the mainstream and being picked up again. Okay. All right. I have a top 3. Okay. Oh, I'm losing in the chat. Everyone's drowning my top 3 with emojis in the chat. I guess I get what I asked for. Okay, all. Here we go. We've got a top 3. So in order of appearance, I'm not sure what that means. I'm just going to go the top 3. Oh, in no particular order. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So just to clarify, in no particular order. I mean, yeah. So I think the audience, we all could just be as great as the judges and venture capitalists, because we know how to pick some people with a more mature pitch and who are able to kind of articulate their companies. So we've got Smart Arm in the top 3. So we'll give a hand to Smart Arm. Everyone can strong arm Smart Arm. We've got Ontracker. Not Tractor, Ontracker in the top 3. And last but not least, and no surprise, we have Pineapple, who has made it to the top 3. So congratulations to the top 3. To the bottom 3, thank you so much for your time. And definitely keep on practicing those pitches, keep on refining your messaging on how you talk about your businesses. Pitch competitions are just as much about learning to talk about your business in a way that's understandable and intriguing as it is about the business itself. So keep practicing those pitch sessions and lean on the resources in the community to get your business next level. And we definitely hope to see you all again. So we're going to take a quick break here. And basically let Smart Arm, Ontracker, and Pineapple get their heads back in the game. They're switching gears to a 3-minute pitch, 5 minutes of questions. The questions are going to be tougher. Get your KPIs and your metrics ready. And we'll all come back here in, I think we've got about 2 minutes before we need to be back for the second round, the championship round. Oh, sorry, we actually have 5 minutes. Good job, everyone. We kept really good time. So you can all take a break for 5 minutes. We'll meet you back here. Let's get back here at about 3.5 minutes, just so we can get started right away. Cool.
We're here.
All right, perfect. Get you share your screen. I'm gonna get the timer ready here. We are ready when you are.
Hey again, everyone. We're SmartArm, in case you forgot. And now we're going to explain how this thing actually works. So SmartArm is building low-cost yet ultra-powerful bionic hands. And to walk you through this, basically, as you begin grabbing an object, SmartArm automatically cross-references what's in front of it with over 1,000 different objects already in its database. And the camera and algorithm recognize the object, and the hand moves the fingers to the pre-recorded position, allowing you to successfully grasp the object. Now, it does all this in a couple milliseconds, but the secret sauce to this is, it comes preloaded with a bunch of objects, but amputees can actually add custom grips for new objects. For them, the machine learning network effect improves the experience for all users that are on the platform. For us, this means the proprietary data actually incentivizes amputees to stay within the SmartArm ecosystem, thereby strengthening our monopoly on the proprietary data. This increases our defensibility in the data moat we have around any next competitor, but also creates new monetization opportunities like we alluded to earlier. All of these network effects will be compounded by the over 9 million hand amputees there are worldwide. However, currently less than 5% of the hand amputee population actually has access to these devices. And so developing an affordable and accessible solution allows us to untap a $21 billion global market, largely of which is currently untapped. The primary reason for this disparity is the conventional dinosaur business model, which forces users to funnel through a consortium of insurance agencies, clinics, and prosthetic manufacturers. And 9 out of 10 times they're turned away by insurance or lack of funds themselves. On the off chance this doesn't happen, the process takes anywhere from 8 months to 2 years. And we have basically listened to these pain points by our users and have worked with them to offer a more accessible business model, which, by the way, in the long run will help us scale far beyond any existing competitor. You see, instead of using physical clinics, users are able to use their smartphones to digitally scan and send us their residual limb from anywhere in the world. And our team takes care of everything else. Within 2 to 3 weeks from initial contact, the user ends up with a custom 3D printed bionic hand. And when we do sell this, we'll offer it for a price of a computer rather than the $80,000 that our competitors charge. So we can unlock that 95% of amputees who don't currently have access to a device like this. We're starting trials for our current prototype in March, and we will be looking to raise our seed in Q2 of 2022, basically the summer. And we'd love to have some of you investors join us.
Wonderful, almost right on the dot, almost 3 minutes. Great job. Thanks for giving us a little more clarity on SmartArm. Cool, judges, you have up to 5 minutes for questions.
It's Monique here. I have a question. Just so I totally understand, do you have an actual working prototype now? And if the answer is yes, how many people do you have using it?
Yes, we have a beta group here I'm actually in London right now, but back in Toronto, where we're based out of. We have 5 people right in the downtown floor. And our goal for the beta is to get to just a pre-launch prototype that we're looking to test out the actual remote scanning capabilities with, and give that a soft launch to a larger global customer base.
Hi, it's Bernd. You could easily choose to fund a project like this entirely with, let's call it non-dilutive funding, with grants and so on and so forth. There's lots available for very good causes like this. But obviously you're going for an investor round, and that means those investors have made commitments to produce returns for their investors. How do you see this unfolding over time so that you can get your investors a return? Who are you going to sell this to? How's this going to evolve from an investment perspective?
Yeah, so the way we're approaching the market, I mean, you know, the conventional way this sort of industry or market has been run is very outdated and, like I said earlier, dinosaur-like. We're coming in fresh, and like the one thing that we've realized that is, you know, if you make something that's useful for kind of the rest of the 95%, it's impossible, you know, to get to or to access that user base and not make a lot of money as a byproduct if that's important. And the other thing, you know, the kind of that we're really looking forward to and what this investment helps accelerate is we've realized very early on that this technology is applicable to like a broad application of robotics. And the data that we're collecting from how amputees and, you know, the users are interacting with everyday objects around them is very crucial data. We like to call that dexterity data, and there's nothing or nobody else really collecting anything like that right now. And that kind of goes on to fuel our kind of the other applications of robotics that we're looking at, kind of the general purpose robot as an example. And, you know, the really neat thing that ties into current times is, you know, you hear about these labor shortages, people don't want to work, you know, entry level minimum wage labor jobs anymore. And so eventually what we're going to happen to see is a lot of those jobs are going to get automated. There, you know, there's an anecdote or the true story, I guess, in the 1950s, the elevator operators went on strike for like the third time. It tied up a lot of people trying to get to work. Think about Wall Street. The elevator manufacturers came in and said, you know, hey, turns out we actually don't need operators. We can just add buttons. And so, you know, fast forward, what, 70, 80 years, that's kind of essentially what we're on the precipice of. And we want to lead the world into that robotic stage. And we're starting with amputees.
Very cool. What's your approval process like with the FDA? Are you doing 510K? And if so, when is that projection?
Yeah, so what we really like about this and what allows us to work directly with our users is prosthetic hands are classified as class 1 medical devices with exemption. So basically that means we don't really need to go through any long approval for the actual product. We just need to register for a business license.
Very cool. And who do you plan on selling this to? What are like 1 or 2 companies? Or yeah, what's your exit strategy if you're not planning on that? Maybe you're.
Yeah. So, I mean, the typical thing that happens if you want to look at, you know, what the innovative startups or what, you know, a lot of them end up doing is there are basically 2 industry giants, Össur and Autobach. Össur is an Icelandic company. Autobach is a German company. And any new, you know, technology that comes out in the prosthetic space specifically, they usually end up, you know, coming in and swooping them up. That's one exit strategy. The other being, you know, focusing on the next generation of robotic products that we're looking to offer.
All right, time flies and we're having fun. That's 5 minutes of questions, 3-minute pitch. Thank you very much. Everyone give a round of applause. And we will move on to Ontracker. So 3-minute pitch for Ontracker. Okay, and yeah, whenever you're ready, let's get the screen shared. Oh, perfect.
Ontracker, aka Tractor.
Tractor, exactly. We got to rebrand, a pivot.
Awesome.
Whenever you're ready, 3 minutes.
All right. Thank you. Hi again, everyone. I'm Syed with Ontracker. And just a quick recap, the problem we're trying to solve for construction is manual entry because it's costing companies a ton of money and time every single week, and it needs to go. And we're doing that by introducing the industry to a specialized form of workflow automation software that's designed specifically for construction. Using our software, managers in the back office can sit down and design both company-wide and project-specific workflows. And this is super important in construction because there are many different categories of construction projects, each with their own set of rules and regulations that you need to follow. So by allowing managers to segment their workflows according to the specific projects they're working on, we can help them manage both their projects and their field teams much more effectively. Ontracker also provides an easy-to-use mobile app that helps managers gather input from their field teams. Field workers can use the app to track their time, communicate, provide progress updates, and gain easy access to important project documents right from the job site. When compared against our competition, Ontracker is the industry's only specialized workflow automation platform that still provides companies with everything they need to manage projects while remaining affordable. Of the 11 companies currently paying for or using our services, nearly half are specialty trade subcontractors, 18% are smaller service contractors, and 36% do both subcontract and service work. What we've also learned is that the self-service model simply does not work for construction. Instead, customers are willing to pay you extra for you to help implement your services for them. And lastly, we've learned that the value the enterprise segment sees in workflow automation is that it can help them cover specific gaps in their current IT systems to solve very specific workflow pain points that they're facing. The initial reaction from the market has been great. Here's a quick quote from one of our paying customers who claims that Ontracker has helped his team spend literally half the amount of time managing their files. We make money in 3 different ways. First, we charge per user per month subscriptions for anyone using our services. Next, because we're working with smaller service contractors, a lot of them process their revenue through credit card transactions, which unlocks a transaction-based revenue channel for us as well. And lastly, as I mentioned, companies are willing to pay us extra to implement our workflow services for them. The total addressable market for Ontracker globally is $13 billion and $2.18 billion in North America. We're confident we can achieve annual revenues of $11 million in 4 years, providing you with a 50x return on your investment today. We're currently focused on moving through our feedback loops and pursuing our initial product market fit, as well as converting our pilot programs into paying customers to boost our MRR. After that, we'll be expanding into the US market and pursuing additional growth channels through things like partnerships and resellers. Again, we'll be raising our seed round in Q3 of next year to help us accelerate our revenue growth and expand our team to pursue a unique IP strategy for the industry. So if you're interested in joining us on our journey to disrupt the construction industry, give us a shout. Thank you.
Awesome. You guys are all so well pitched at having your timing down. Great job. Perfect. Judges, what else do we want to know about Tractor/Ontracker?
Hey, Adam O'Donnell here. I'm curious about your NPS, if you've tracked that. If not, can you talk to me about retention for those customers you have so far?
Yeah, so we're still kind of gathering the data. We actually just launched our paid beta just over 2 months ago. So we're still in the earliest stages of getting our paid customers and kind of monitoring the data and what it's telling us. So on the NPS front, it's still a little fuzzy. We have been able to retain all of our existing paid customers. And as I mentioned, we're incredibly focused right now on just trying to convert those active pilot programs into paying customers. The interesting thing there too is there are different kinds of companies we're coming across in our pilot programs. So we're trying to learn from each account that we take on.
I have a question for each account. How many users do you tend to have on there? So is it just the business owner, or are there other people using it?
Oh, it's basically from the paying customers that we have right now. They're all SMBs. So the idea is it is a company-wide tool. So the office staff would use it to manage the documents, and the field staff actually uses it to provide updates from the field and communicate with the office as well. So it is a full suite of users that we're looking at for these companies.
Hey, it's Bernd. You talked about the need to hand sell to these complex businesses. What does your cost of customer acquisition versus your lifetime value ratio look like? What are you targeting? And is this going to be more expensive to sell than you make for it?
So initially what we're seeing is that there is a relatively high cost of the customer acquisition because it is that direct sales channel right now. However, because the solution is much more specialized and tailored to each individual company, we're seeing a much higher potential for lifetime value than some of our competitors would be. So currently right now, we are seeing the lifetime value far outweigh the cost initially upfront. And in addition, we do have those additional monetization channels around payment processing, as well as ongoing implementation and support services to be able to add more revenue to that over time as well.
Judges, any other
What's your-
questions? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what's your ACV?
So our projections are based on an ACV of 2,700. That is based on a smaller contractor with just 15 employees, which again, you know, we're starting to see larger and larger companies engage with us. So we could see those numbers adjust over time, but that's what our numbers are based on currently.
I'm going to follow up on Adam and Bern's questions. A lot of folks have been going after digitization of construction for a while. I actually invested in a similar company about 5 years ago, and your numbers are very representative of what a lot of these folks see, which is, you know, requires hands-on sales, sort of conservative customers who are a little bit reticent to adopt technology, and they're not necessarily looking to pay for it. Right, so 700 in monthly revenue off of the sales cycle, or even 2,700 a year, isn't going to offset, you know, the cost of acquisition, the cost of sales. Do you have a hypothesis, and have you kind of thought about, okay, as you move forward, who are you going to be able to sell to, and who do you think might be the ultimate kind of sweet spot customer that lets you balance all of these things out while allowing you to build a profitable business?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the reason why we're targeting SMBs in particular is because the profile of an SMB typically is actually a smaller sub-trades contractor. Now, the bigger dogs in the market are the bigger multinational general contractors. And we're trying to work our way there eventually, which is why we're planning to explore that segment next. But by working with the SMBs, we now get in the door with all the companies that those general contractors end up hiring anyways. And through, you know, the continued iteration and working with those SMBs, we believe we can break into those larger general contractors, and through them they can actually force it down onto their whatever subcontractors they work with on their projects as well. So we do believe, according to our hypothesis, is that general contractors can be a viral growth channel for us and could be a very key play for us in the future. In addition to general contractors, we are seeing increased interest from enterprise companies, and the ACV from enterprise companies is far higher than 2,700. And so if we continue down this path, we're going to see much higher revenue potential moving forward.
Great, thank you.
How many of those customers that you currently have came from a previous relationship with one of the co-founders on the team?
The current customers that we have, one of them has.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps us up to about 20 seconds. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Great job. All right. And last but not least, it's definitely the emoji favorite of the day, pineapple.
Hey, everyone. Let me see.
All right. Oh, yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay. So here we go. So thanks, everyone. This is Pineapple again, the platform that lets you build apps with no code. So at Pineapple, we want to democratize app development for everyone. And to do this, we have a really simple business model, which is recurring subscriptions. We charge $9.99 per month or $59.99 per year. With this subscription, you can unlock features, you can unlock more building blocks for your app, you can export your code, and you get more tools to make it easier for you to create your app. Our subscriptions are growing. Just after 4 months after turning them on, we have $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue. But why is it growing? It's because first, with Pineapple, you can build everywhere on tablets, smartphones, and web. Most, if not all of our competition, only running one of these platforms. Most of our previous achievements have come from our iOS app, and we will be releasing our web platform soon. So we expect a huge growth once we launch that. With Pineapple, you can build, run, and export your code immediately on your device. And what this means is that you can take your code and upload it to the app stores, or you can take your code, give it to your engineers, and just improve your app from there. Most, if not all, of our competition don't let you export your code, so the app is not yours, and they don't really have a realistic way for you to test your app as you're building it. With Pineapple, you can get native code, which is the highest quality, highest performance, and you get the latest features for your apps. Some competition still uses multi-platform technology, which tends to be of lower quality. So kind of like bringing all of this into our competition board. I know this is a lot to take in, but I just want to highlight some key points. We're the only company that has a builder that runs in multiple platforms. We're the only company that lets you export code for free. And there's only other company that lets you export the code, and they charge you $99 each time. Again, we generate a native app, and our pricing is really affordable. Something that I want to highlight is that with Pineapple right now, you can only generate iOS apps, but we're going to touch on that in a few slides. So the no code and low code market will be 187 billion by 2030. It was just 10 billion in 2019. That means it's growing fast. And by 2024, no code and low code will account for 65% of app development because of how easy and accessible it is. So what do we need? We need advice and connections. That's what we need right now. But what would take us to the next level is we're looking to raise $1 million, basically to grow in the market with new features. We need to spread our word and get some user growth. But mainly, we really want to allow our users to build Android and web apps to compete with more of the other companies out there. And because the no-code community likes tutorials and all of that so much, we are going to invest in our learning center. Thank you so much.
All right, 6 minutes to spare. Good job. All right, judges.
I have a question. What's the main sort of use case amongst your current users? Like what type of apps are they building? Are you noticing any sort of trend within certain industries or verticals?
Yeah, awesome question. So first of all, we're privacy focused. So we tend to respect what our users do in our app, but we do know what they are building, and it's a lot of students working on projects that they have either at school or, we had some students, even they're finalists in the US Congressional App Challenge. So students to learn, kind of like get into code or just, figure it out around STEM topics. And we also have non-technical founders, or just people that have this idea and they want to start their own business. So we have a lot of early stage kind of like entrepreneurs. That's where we are sitting right now.
So what type of stuff are they building though? So that's like who your customers are. I'm curious, like what are the apps doing? Are they selling things? Is it what sort of functionality is it providing?
So there's a variety of apps out there. We've seen a lot of apps that are related to apps designed for organizations. Like, you want to create an app that employees students can download to see their calendars, their launch schedule, kind of like informational apps. We've also seen people creating some sort of apps that let you see products and contact the seller so that you can sell products to them. Or, we've seen apps that each product has a link that goes either to WhatsApp or to a website to let you complete the payment process. We're working on implementing, connections with Shopify and WooCommerce so that we can enable e-commerce within Pineapple. So that's definitely one of our priorities. But yeah, informational apps and a lot of apps to get your business started.
David, talk to me about the conversion that you have, because it seems really low to have 100,000 users and only 4,000 MRR. One other thing around that is what's the trigger that happens right before someone converts to being a paying customer?
Yeah, so we launched the app on July last year, but subscriptions were launched Q2 of this year. So that's why our downloads are super, super huge compared to our the people that are subscribed to us. Our conversion it's around 7%. So from the people that have been using the app, around 7% decide to subscribe. And out of that 7%, 50% decide to go with the yearly plan. And the main spot in which they convert into, we call them gold users, is when they're creating their app, we limit the amount of elements, screens, and even the amount of apps they can create within Pineapple. So as soon as they want to add, let's say, a map or a video, we tell them, okay, you have access to the basic elements. Now we need you to subscribe. It's kind of like we have like a free tier. So that's why, we let users kind of like play with the app and without them being subscribed, which also contributes to a huge amount of users and, not like an insane amount of paying users, because there's a lot of free users out there.
David, 7%, it's Baron, 7% is not bad conversion for a freemium type app. But in the 4 months that you've been up on the paid side, and in the 50% that are not yearly subscribers, are you getting any sense for the retention? What kind of churn have you had?
Yeah, so it's a little bit early for us because we have a lot of just people coming in to the new subscription, but we haven't seen a lot of people unsubscribing to the monthly subscription model. We've been consistently growing in our monthly subscription rate. Again, we don't track our users. They're completely anonymous, so we just see the total right now. We're working on an anonymous way to track all of this data, but our churn rate right now is not that high. Again, because we haven't waited more than 1 year or 6 months, which usually takes people around 6 months to build an app with Pineapple. That's what we've kind of like investigated. So after the 6-month mark, we'll see if they also unsubscribe or not. And we also have like a promotion for the early kind of like early users. So the yearly plan right now makes a lot more sense than.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. We're just over 5 minutes. Thank you, David. Thank you, judges. Wonderful. Well, that concludes our top 3. So, and we're almost done. We just need to find the winner, which is why we're all here in the first place. So I'll let Alana and the Launch Academy team whisk away the judges into deliberation for the top 3. And we're all going to take a little bit of just a 1-minute break, maybe to stretch your legs or start an emoji festival in the channel again, because that was always such a good time. And I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's been a while since we've had pitch competitions, and leave it up to Launch Academy to make sure the community is coming together in a meaningful way and being able to let us have a little bit of fun on a Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Who knows? What year is it? Who knows anymore, right? On this afternoon. But thank you so much for having me. I do have to jump. I got to run back out to Burnaby to get my little guy from daycare, kindergarten pickup. So I'm going to be handing it over to Sam to announce the winners and speak on behalf of Launch Academy and share with you all the judges. And Sam, you better let me know who the winner was. I've already seen on the chat. But thank you everyone again. Entrepreneurs, great job. Never easy pitching. Keep on working, keep on doing all of the things. And thank you everybody. So I'm gonna sign off with y'all and keep on having fun for the last few minutes, and good luck. And I want to know who the winner is. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Shar. So everyone, as Shar mentioned, we're just going to do a quick, I have 2 minutes on my timer for a little quick stretch. So go get some water, do a bathroom break. Our judges are just judging in another room right now. Don't mind my dog. So I'm going to shut off my screen. Again, just going to be a couple minutes. I will come back on screen when Sam is back. Sam is our VP programs, and he's going to be announcing the winners along with the prizes. So see you guys in about a minute. Hello, hello. Sorry again for the delays, you guys. Our scorecards are automatic, but we're having some technical issues on the back end for one of our judges, but it looks like we're all ready to go now. The scores are tallied. So I am going to give the floor over again to our VP program, Sam Chan. He is going to be announcing which companies have placed first, second, and third, and the prizes that we have for each of the companies. Again, Sam runs all of our programs here at Launch, including our MEP program, a Launchpad, and helps with sort of the education side of things for all of our companies. And this is where all of the companies came from who are pitching today. So welcome back, judges. And there is Sam. So I will give the floor to you, Sam, to let us know what the judges decided.
All right, thank you, everybody. My name is Sam. I'm the VP of Programs here at Launch, and thank you for everybody for sticking around with us. We had a really interesting discussion in the judges' room. Sorry, we took an extra couple minutes just to come by. So yeah, as I'm just kind of rambling through here, I'm going to invite all our judges, all our finalists to just come and show their faces. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank all the finalists here, all 6 companies, Holimood as well, and who am I missing? Perception, Chewy. You guys all did a great job, and it's really, really difficult. If you guys have never done a 90-second pitch on the internet talking to strangers, it's not an easy task. So kudos to everyone, and of course our finalists as well. I want to thank the judges. One thing that I learned when I was working with these companies is that it's really hard and difficult to give the pitches. It's just as hard to analyze and try and absorb all that information in 90 seconds and give, positive, helpful feedback. And so I want to just give a big shout out to all our judges as well for coming on and spending this time with us. And then finally, I want to thank Shar for hosting today, keeping the mood light, organizing everything, keep making sure everybody stays on track and on time. All right, so I've kind of delayed things enough. Finally, I also want to just one last thing I forgot is I want to thank our sponsors. We have Boast.AI and MEP coming in with some in-kind prizes today, and I'll talk about who's going to be getting those prizes really, really shortly. All right, so you guys are going to have to do your own virtual mental drum roll here because I'm talking in complete silence. In third place, we have, and they're going to be receiving $1,000 in kind from Boast.AI for their first year of service, as well as $2,500 cash prize courtesy of Launch Ventures. It is Ontracker. So let's give some applause to Ontracker. Great job, guys. The judges loved what you guys are doing. Really want to encourage you to kind of keep pumping out those sales. All right. In second place, we also have another $1,000 from our partners at Boast.AI for their first year of service, as well as a $5,000 cash prize courtesy of Launch Ventures. We have SmartArm. Congratulations, SmartArm. You guys are changing the world, and the judges really loved your mission and keep building those arms, which means if you guys are with me and you guys can do some serious mental math here, that means first place, which is receiving a $10,000 cash prize, $2,500 in legal fees from MEP Business Council, as well as $1,000 from our partners at Boast.AI. That's Pineapple. Congratulations, Pineapple. You are our grand prize winner. They want to see more people building those apps. They want to see those apps in the marketplace, not just Pineapple itself, but the apps that you guys are building. So they want to encourage you to keep going. So that kind of concludes our event tonight. Again, thank you to the judges. Thank you to Shar. Thank you to our audience. If you want to learn more about any of these companies that we talked about today, there is a blog post on our website, Launchacademy.ca, that talks about each of these companies. If you want to reach out to any of them, you can send an email to info@launchacademy.ca, whether you just want to work with them, you want to invest in them, you want to talk to them, you want to get to know them. if you're listening to this and you're a company and you want to join one of these in the future, we do have multiple programs, whether you're anywhere around the world, whether you're based in Vancouver, based in Toronto, based in we have companies from all over the world in all 6 continents. Check out Launch.Academy.ca. We have different programs to support your startup, and we have resources for you. If you're not quite there yet, and you're just starting out and you're an idea and you're inspired by any of our founders today, we also have a startup course for you. So all of that can be found on Launch.Academy.ca. Thank you for everybody. We had a great time. I'm really proud of all of our contestants, and have a good night, good evening, and a good morning wherever you guys are at.
Just before everybody signs off, I do also want to put a big shout out to the Launch Academy team. Sam Chan, our VP of programs, did an amazing job with all these companies. Jean, Yoon, Camille, and Alana, Pratish, working with international companies in multiple time zones, multiple accents and dialects. It's not that easy, but this team is putting a great amount of work into it. And with COVID and everything, I'm so proud of the way that they've converted our program into an online program. So congratulations, Sam, Camille, Alana, Jean, Pratish. You guys nailed it. Thanks for all your help, and hopefully we can help more entrepreneurs moving forward. Thanks, everyone.